My name is Russell Snyder, voice of the Tiffin University Dragons, alongside Athletic Director Lonny Allen, who's going to help me get the program started. Lonny, it's a great day to be a Dragon.
Great day to be a Dragon, Russ.
So we are here today to celebrate fall athletics. We were able to help with the football team checking in today, but we're going to talk cross country today. We're going to talk men's soccer, women's soccer. We're going to talk women's tennis. We're going to talk volleyball, and of course we're going to talk football. But we can't talk about this year's athletic programs without talking a little bit about last year. And last year was a pretty darn successful year for the Tiffin University Athletic Department.
Well, in baseball terminology, we had a home run last year. This year, we're going for Grand Slam.
Well, that all starts in the fall, and it's always good to get off to a great start on the fall campaign. And with sports, like men's soccer has been traditionally just fantastic here on campus. Football on the rise. Women's soccer should be much better this year. Volleyball's got a good nucleus coming back. Women's tennis has been fantastic as well. Our fall programs really are in a point to set a great stage for the rest of the winter and then following spring sports.
Well, it's an exciting day today. You get to see all these football guys and their families, and the nervousness and the excitement and all that good stuff. And I mean, you look at these guys and you're like, holy cow! I mean, these are some good-looking dudes here.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited about this year. I'm excited about watching these guys. But I'm going to say the same thing on Sunday and this weekend, whenever we have soccer and volleyball report.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time for each and every sport. And you mentioned the families and you mentioned watching, what's happening and going on. Let's make sure all the families know that all of our home athletic events, that if there's a conflict, sometimes we cannot cover two at a time, but all home athletic events that we can cover are live radio at tudragonradio.com. Every game that we're doing live on campus at home, I won't say every, I'd say probably 90%, if not more. You can catch live video, which is absolutely free at tudragonradio.com. And then Matt Kilber, who I'm going to introduce to everyone to here in a little bit, myself, go on the road, and 95% of the games we do on the road are radio only. The home teams control the video source for the games. But when we are allowed to do video on the road for football and basketball and some of the other sports, we do provide live video feed as well. So we have flyers up here with the information about the tudragonradio.com. Tell your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, your friends, their aunts, uncles, grandparents, that they can catch everything you're doing right there at tudragonradio.com. This will be our second year. It's just been over a year since we got that one started.
It's we do some great things in the athletic department, and I think that this is one of the best things that we've ever done, was to be able to give this service to our fan base, and we've got a lot of hits with it, and it's a great service that you guys do. And let me tell you something, guys. These guys are first class. They do a great job of promoting what we're doing in the athletic department. And you guys do a great job.
We love to celebrate being a Dragon. And let's go ahead and bring Matt over here real quick to introduce him to everyone as well. My name is Russell Snyder. I'm the unofficial voice of the Dragons. And then this is Matt Kilber, who's my broadcast partner. I've been working with Tiffin University Athletics for going on my 6th season now. And Matt, this will be the 5th season we've had an opportunity to work together.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been that long, but it's always fun, whether home or away.
Well, Matt, you did games for the athletic department on a volunteer basis when you first got to campus, and through that volunteer work, you've been able to work into a full-time role with the university in the sports information department, but also to keep you in the broadcast booth. And I have to say on behalf of myself, it makes my life a whole lot easier having a good color commentator and a guy I can rely on like this guy over here. So everyone, we're lucky to have this guy working with us, and let's give him a round of applause because he's been stuck his neck out for Tiffin University Athletics for quite a while.
Thank you very much. But, it's all you guys. Without the parents bringing the student-athletes here and allowing them to come here and play sports, without the coaches putting in the long hours, our administration, we wouldn't have a radio station. So the round of applause should be for you guys, because without you, I'm not here, he's not here, and Russ isn't here either. So thank you guys very much.
Your student-athletes aren't here and your parents and family members aren't sending them here, we don't have anything to celebrate. So we want to thank all of you for sending your kids over here to be Tiffin University Dragons, because it's our pleasure to get to celebrate them on the radio and every other opportunity we get to. So thank you to everyone out there as well. All right, our order of our guests for the program today, we're going to come up next. We're going to bring up Coach Jeremy Croy, and we're going to talk men's and women's cross country. Then we're going to go men's soccer, women's tennis, volleyball, and then we'll close out with football. We'll go close to an hour. If it's a little bit less than an hour, we'll wrap it up. We'll kind of get you guys out of here in a timely fashion and get to say goodbye to your loved ones and get you on the road, whatever you need to do. So we'll keep it tight, but we'll keep it fun, and we'll have a good time together. Okay, everybody? So with that being said, why don't you invite up Coach Jeremy Croy?
Coach Croy.
Coach Jeremy Croy. He's a coach that's been on this campus for many, many years and does some great things with our track and field programs as well as our cross-country programs. And he's going to come in and talk to us about our cross-country programs right now. Coach Jeremy Croy. Folks, 16 years of mentoring young dragons sitting right here beside me. How are you, Coach?
Beautiful sunny day.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming in and to Dragon Radio Live here, our Dragon Nation radio program. And you're a veteran of these radio programs with us, so let's get right to it. Let's talk cross-country. Let's give us a brief review of the fall campaign last year.
Fall campaign, we were able to host the GLIAC championships for the first time in school history. We had all 16 cross-country teams down here, put on what people say was the best cross-country championships in GLIAC history.
I believe
Did it out at Seneca Hills cross-country course. We had live commentary during the races, live team scoring throughout each loop. It was a loop course, and we had a lot of positive feedback.
Well, I know all the hard work you and your staff and the athletic department staff put into getting that ready to go. And then, if I remember correctly, the weather didn't cooperate with you guys as you would have wished, but you still had a great time.
We didn't do too much damage to the cross-country course. Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about what you got coming back this year. Let's start first with the women's side. Talk about some of the kids you got coming back.
Well, I think we have 3 out of our top 4 returning. We have Jamie Lombardo, Sarah Chura, and Ashley Linton all returning. They were three of our top 4 from last year, which gives us a good, solid nucleus of returners. So that's a team that finished 10th in the conference, and we should be able to move up a few spots with them.
All right. How about on the men's side? The men's side, you're a fairly young team. It looks like on your men's side when you look at your roster.
Yeah, we're very young on the men's side. We lose a few of our top runners, have a couple people interning over this upcoming fall. So it's going to be a tough road to run for us this year. But like I said, we have a couple seniors that are redshirting, and Rick Rowe and Seth Vermillion, they're going to be redshirting this year, doing some internships. And so they'll be back a 5th year. But right now we'll have to find a way to replace them. We're going to do that with a couple international runners, Brandon Gibson, a local Tiffin Colombian product, and then a couple other returners as well with Joel Edwards, Nigel Carlton, and Chris McCowan.
What is the off-season workout like for a cross-country runner? Is it just hit the pavement? Do you have an amount of miles that you're trying to achieve every week, every month? How does the off-season work for a kid? Is it just put the running shoes on and go? Make sure you eat right? Basically,
yes. I mean, NCAA doesn't allow us to prescribe specific workouts, so we can give them goals to hit, and whether that's 500 miles over the summer, 700 miles over the summer, 900 miles over the summer.
You're talking lifetime, brother.
But the guys will average anywhere from 12 to 14 miles a day, and women probably 8 to 12 miles a day.
See, when I hear that, I think lunacy. I'm like, that doesn't equate to the way my mind works. But
and
you know
what?
Then
when you stop doing it, you gain 40 pounds.
Exactly.
Like myself, so.
Well, you see your kids out, though. If you're driving your car anywhere around campus or even away from campus, heading out towards a park or something, you see the kids with the Tiffin cross-country T-shirts on out running all the time. So, I mean, if you're a cross-country runner, you're a dedicated runner.
You have to be.
Have to be. Absolutely. What's your expectations this year?
Just want to improve on last year's GLIAC finish and regional finish. So if we can get a couple spots better, that's what we're planning on doing, and getting that solid base for the track season that starts up in December.
And then the track season this year begins, September 4th? You're at the Northwest Ohio meet at Bluffton, is that right?
Yeah, that's cross-country schedule. Yeah, we'll start at Bluffton on the 4th. We're going to go ahead and make a little schedule change and go to Detroit on the 13th of September instead of Rochester.
A
little closer, one less hotel night. Kids get to sleep in their own beds, and they'll get a chance to run the GLIAC championship course, which is at Wayne State University. So we'll get to run the GLIAC course that day, head to All Ohio Championships, and then got a cheap flight down to Disney, so we're flying the team down to Disney as well.
Yeah, might as well go run the championship course when you get the opportunity, right? Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Coach Jeremy Croy. He's been mentoring young Dragons on this campus for quite a long time. Give him a round of applause, and then we'll go take a quick break and come back with more Tiffin University Athletics. This is Tiffin University Dragon Radio on WTUD. Welcome back to Tiffin University Dragon Radio Live, coming to you live from the Pioneer Mill restaurant right here in Tiffin. If you'd like more information on the happenings at the Pioneer Mill, you can give them a call at 419-448-0100. Their website's pioneermilloftiffin.com. How about that spread Scott and the staff put on for us, everybody? Give them a round of applause for that great dinner tonight. Awesome. Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies. All right. We talked about Coach Croy and his cross-country team. I mentioned he'd been on campus for 16 years. This gentleman here has been on campus as a coach for 13 years, played here as well. His name's Rudy Brownell. He's the head coach of Tiffin University men's soccer program. Coach, how are you tonight?
How you doing, Russ?
I'm not doing too awful bad, Coach. You've been around the program for a long, long time, and this is always a great, exciting time of the year for each and every fall sport, and that definitely includes men's soccer.
Yes, it is, Russ. Looking forward to it. I mean, this time of the year as a coach, you always look forward to, so I'm looking forward to it.
Last year, a very successful season for your kids. Finished at 12-5-1, get to the NCAA Super Region 3 playoffs where you fought a tough double overtime contest against Drury University. Leaves a bad taste in your mouth, but I'll tell you, it's got to make your kids and you just chomping at a bit to get right back out there on the field and start taking care of business once again.
Yeah, I mean, Russ, we in the past 2 years or so, obviously we're doing very well, going to the NCAA tournament, and for us and my program here at Tiffin, we have high expectation. Every year we expect to be there. If we're not there or we're not pushing for a conference championship, it's no good for us. So we try, so hopefully, like I said, we brought the right group of kids in this year. Hopefully when we get back there again this year, we can do something about it.
Well, you mentioned the kids you brought in this year. What was you looking at when you were looking at your recruiting class this year when every team is going to have holes to replace? Were you looking on the defensive side, the offensive side, in net? Where was your focus?
Ross, we just look for blue-collar kids who just want to work and listen. That's the kids we look for. You don't have to be the most talented kid. If you want to work hard, you want to listen, this is the place for you. I always tell my recruits that if you don't want to work, you don't want to listen, my soccer program is not a program for you.
I second that. If you've been around Coach Brownell, you better listen. He's going to make sure you hear him, so you better listen when he talks. You're a very prolific offensive team last year. You had great netminder. When you look at last year's team and what you have coming back, and you think about what it is that needs to put you guys over the edge, what is that thing that you need your kids to really concentrate on?
I've been saying, basically, think we try to, I always say this, like I tell my assistants all the time, is those group of guys have to put their egos away and hopefully, put the team first.
Yeah, absolutely. Soccer, a lot of times your individual, your goal scorers and things will get a lot of the credit, but if your defense isn't in the right spot, your goaltender's not making a save, everybody else on the offensive side is not in the right spots either, you can't be a goal scorer.
Well, that's true, Russ, but again, last year is last year, and we're looking forward to this season. So we're not even looking at last year, what we did last year, because a brand new season, everybody start fresh. Every team went out and recruit, so hopefully we come in for preseason starting on Sunday, we check in, on Monday we get started. And this thing is that we have 2 practices on Monday, and on Tuesday we have our first scrimmage already.
Wow. No rest for the weary. So you got your kids 2 practices on Monday. Here's what we're going to do. Probably keep it fairly simple for the first scrimmage, but get out there and get your stuff done.
Right, because right there show you who's been doing the work in the summer and who haven't been working. So right there you can tell. And again, we're playing a very good team in Rio Grande, who's always top 25 NAIA. So I'm looking forward to it.
September 4th, you get going for real, a 7 o'clock game at Alderson Broadus College. 3 road games to start, 1 across town against Heidelberg, before you come home for your first contest September 11th against University of Findlay, a GLIAC opponent. GLIAC's always very tough in soccer, and I'm sure this year it's going to be much more the same.
It's going to be much more the same. Like I always said to everybody else, is I don't really worry about everybody else. I worry about my team. And if we go out, we do the right things on the practice field, we are disciplined, the result's going to come. So I don't worry about everybody else. Just worry about Tiffin University men's soccer program.
If you could tell the folks one reason that they should come out and watch a men's soccer game, what is the one thing that they will see on the field that will make them want to come back for a second?
You'll see a bunch of guys who are working for the one common goal is to win. Work ethics, what we try to strive our program on. So if you are in the area, come down and watch us play. Looking forward to that season. You can find out more information on the Tiffin University men's soccer program by going to gotiffindragons.com. You can find out more information on all of our athletic programs by going to gotiffindragons.com. As I said, September 4th at Alderson Broadus College, a 7 p.m. start. First home match, 4 p.m. against University of Findlay, and you also close your season out at the University of Findlay. Well, your last regular season game on October 30th. Coach Brownell, you have had some great success. I know this year is going to be a lot more of the same, and we're really looking forward to covering your guys because the men's soccer program is one of the action's fast. It gets physical, it gets intense, it gets emotional, and through all that, it's always a whole lot of fun. So thanks you to you and your kids, but we're looking forward to covering you. No problem. Thanks you, Russ, you and your staff, Shane, those guys, and I just want to say good luck there. Good luck to all the fall sport guys, and go Dragons.
Go Dragons. That's Coach Rudy Brownell. Let's go ahead and welcome in Coach Melissa Bigg. Thank you, Coach. Coach Melissa Bigg will come in and talk women's soccer. Tell you what, Rudy's kids, they put the ball in the net. And they are a fun, exciting brand of soccer to watch. Get out there and watch them. And a lot of times when you're going to go watch a men's soccer match, you get a chance to watch a women's soccer match too. And here's Melissa Bigg getting ready to enter her second season at the helm of Tiffin University Women's Soccer. How are you, Coach?
Good. How are you doing?
Not doing too bad. Why don't you introduce who's right sitting next to you?
This is Stefania Viscardi. She's going to be a junior this year from Canada.
And she's also done a little bit of broadcasting with us last year as well, didn't you? So welcome in here, and you should be good to go there with that. But yeah, welcome in. And last year you got a taste of doing the broadcast side of it. Do you like that at all? Was it fun at all to you?
It was definitely different.
Definitely
I enjoyed
different.
it a lot, though.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I'll say that's for darn certain. But all right, let's talk about your kids. A lot of room to improve last year when your stalwarts on the offensive side went down to the injury early on in the season. You were telling me about her in the spring and how she was really coming back and playing strong. Let's talk a little bit about that young lady.
Yeah, Svetlana Gudenkova. 10 points in 8 games and then gets hurt. So this spring was exciting to see her finally fully healthy and putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, and she gave us a great one of our liners that we use. She gave us a Go Dragons in Russian that we play on the air all the time. It was really cool of her to do that. Okay, let's talk about your kids. You had a record-setting a goaltender last year, right?
Yes. We had a freshman goalkeeper. We're excited for her to be a sophomore this year. But we also have a junior that will kind of be pushing her and fighting for that starting spot.
Let's talk a little bit about what we mentioned Svetlana, you mentioned the goalkeepers. Talk a little bit about the rest of the experience you have coming back, both on the offensive side and on the defense.
Well, we have Stefania. She didn't play last year because she transferred in, but we're excited to have her back here and have her on the field playing next year. And then we have Leanne in the midfield, Emery Milford. We have a lot of experience coming back. Olivia Haskins, hopefully she'll be healthy this season. So we're excited to see what they have to offer.
Yeah, every kid that you just mentioned are names that we mention very frequently in our broadcast. And how excited are you to get back on the field and get out there and just mix it up a little bit?
I'm really excited. I've been waiting pretty much a year to be able to play.
So what have you been doing in your off season to make sure that you're ready to go for this coming fall?
Well, my off season, pretty much I've been training really hard. I've been doing lots of sprints, juggling with the ball, turns, everything possible to be ready.
When you get ready for a soccer season, what is the most important key for a kid to come in to camp ready to go? Is it being in shape first and foremost because of all the running you have to do, or is there something else that you do?
Shape's huge, but having touches on the ball. If they're able to play over summer, a lot of our international players have leagues they can go back to, so getting a touch on the ball is huge because when they get back, not touching the ball for 3 months is not going to do it.
And what did you tell your kids over the summer when you sent them away after your spring workouts and said, okay, when you guys come back here to camp, when you report to camp, these are the things I need you to work on because these are the things we need to be successful?
Mostly just touching the ball. I mean, if you can play over summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of teams don't have players that do that, so if you're able to play over summer, it's just a huge bonus.
Well, you guys get started. Your first match, August 19th, at home against Owens. Is that a scrimmage? That one's a scrimmage. Your first actual home match will be August 29th against Urbana, right?
Nope. Our first one's against Finley at home. We start out on the road at University of Charleston in September.
Okay, well, my little goofied up here, but okay. So you get started in the start of in September at the University of Charleston. First home game is against Finley, you said?
Yep.
Okay, talk a little bit about, speaking of Finley, talk a little bit about the conference. Where's the strength you see in the conference again this year?
I mean, you have the national champion every single year,
I know.
So we're one of the top conferences in the nation. Obviously playing Grand Valley, but we're just focusing on ourselves, focusing on getting better this year and making the playoffs.
Where do you think your strength will be this year?
Definitely up top.
Up top.
Yep. Putting the ball back in the net more often than we did last year.
That's what it all goes down to, right? Put it in there more than they do. Absolutely. Well, her name is Melissa Bigg, and her second season with the Tiffin University women's soccer program. And like I asked Rudy, Coach, if you're going to invite somebody down to come watch you play, what are they going to see on the field that's going to make them want to come back for a second time?
A bunch of hardworking ladies. They're going to work extremely hard, and they're going to do the best to make the game exciting as possible.
Well, this is our women's soccer program. How about a big round of applause for them, folks? As get ready to take another commercial break, and when we come back, we will have our look at women's tennis and volleyball. That's coming your way next. This is Tiffin University Dragon Radio on WTUD. Welcome back to Tiffin University Dragon Radio, TU Dragon Radio Live, coming to you from the Pioneer Mill Restaurant right here in Tiffin, Ohio. Well, so far we've talked some cross country, some men's soccer, some women's soccer. Now we're going to talk about a program that's on the rise here on the Tiffin University campus, and that's women's tennis. And this is head coach Phil Conley. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad. Now, make sure you say it right. Introduce the young lady to your right.
This is Angelina Jogasaria.
Hi, Angelina. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Go ahead and bring your microphone up.
I graduated from Akron, which is the Division One, and then I used to play tennis for Division One college level, and then now I'm being a graduate assistant at Tiffin University. I'm very excited to start.
Sounds like a good fit with your program, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. She has some great experience playing at the University of Akron. She's won 2 conference championships there. She played in the top of the lineup, so she's definitely going to be able to help me on court a lot, just like Luis did when he was here with our program.
Well, it probably didn't take much convincing when you were talking to her about coming here. When she looks at the way your kids worked last year and some of the kids you have coming back, probably pretty exciting to say, oh, yeah, I'd like to come work at that program.
Absolutely. I mean, over the years, I was just talking to her about 7 years ago when I first started, and I only had 4 girls on the team, and it was a rough season. To go to the past 2 years going to the NCAA regional tournament was pretty, it was a dream come true, and we're looking to be able to go a little bit beyond that again.
How about that experience for your kids coming back next year? How much is that experience going to pay dividends for your kids?
Tremendously, because when we went there to the regional tournament last year, we'd been there once before, and we played Northwood and lost in a tough one, 5-3. We played Drury, who was top 25 in the nation, and we lost 5-3. And we were right there with them. So I think when we go back to regionals this year, which is our plan, we're going to be able to have a step ahead of us here.
This region going to be strong again this year as it was last year?
Absolutely. I think you'll see us in the top 5-6 in the region, definitely, maybe even higher. We have a lot of great players coming back. I lose one player, Chelsea Beck. But I do get 2 transfer players coming in next year that I'm really excited about.
Well, you mentioned some of the great players you have coming back, and I'm sure the first name you'll say, I'm pretty sure what that is, but you got a lot of talent coming back, headlined by.
Definitely. You look at Carolyn Alhage. She's top 40 in the nation right now. ITA semifinalist, freshman of the year. I'm starting to be able to build a program around her, so I'm really excited to have a player like her. And then 2 transfers that I had last year from one from her previous school, the University of Akron, and the University of Toledo, that are going to be coming in. So we have the depth, and that's the big key for our conference.
What have you thought of some of the players that you've seen on this tennis team and some of their skill abilities?
I think our team is really good. They are very talented young athletes, both women's and the men's. And then I'm very excited to start because with my previous experience and then probably some coaching experience probably help a lot.
You would get out there and hit with them?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Talk about some of you mentioned some of the kids. You mentioned the transfers coming in. Do you have any freshmen coming in this year as well?
I do have one freshman. Hopefully, we'll see if she makes an impact for the program this year. We do have a lot of returners, and it's always really hard for that freshman athlete when you have a lot of returners to be able to set and get and build up into the lineup. But every one of my players I try to give the time and attention to, and it's what they do on court to see if they can play in that top 6.
A lot of matches on the road to get started on your schedule this year, Coach. We saw 1, 2, 3, 5 straight on the road to get started, I believe.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how the conference matches kind of started, especially when we play Northwood, who's typically won the conference. They've only lost the conference in the past 15 years, maybe once. Yeah. On both sides. And so to start off against Northwood as our first match, I want to make sure that we're prepared. So we are playing the University of Northwestern Ohio, who's top 20 in the NAIA typically. So I want to kind of use that as a stepping stone and see if we need to make any changes coming into Northwood's match.
Well, I was going to follow up on that. Sometimes you'll talk about, a football team needs to scrimmage somebody else because you get tired of banging helmets with your own. You want to see a different helmet. So the same way with tennis. You can hit the ball back and forth across the net all you want and simulate. Well, until you get somebody with a different colored shirt across the net, somebody from a different school, whether it's a scrimmage or not, it probably just changes the intensity level a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, no 2 tennis players really play alike. So, whenever, for example, Caroline plays Valentino on my team, they know what they're going to do on the court. So nothing's new. There's no surprises out there. But when you play another player from a different team, you don't know their game as well. You don't know what they're going to do. Probably it's a little bit like baseball. If you're against another pitcher, it's a little bit different.
Absolutely. Well, we asked them before if somebody's going to come down and watch your girls play tennis. What is it about watching those tennis matches that's going to make the folks want to come back for a second time?
I think one coach said this, and I'm going to say it again. You're going to see a team that has one common goal, and we're looking to see if we can win our first conference championship this year.
Well, his name's Phil Conley. Her name's Alex. I'm not going to try to say it wrong, but this is our Tiffin University women's tennis coaches here, and they're getting ready for this year's fall campaign. Let's give them a round of applause and welcome in our volleyball coaches next. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. We'll welcome Dana and Shauna to come up next. Don't forget, everybody, all this coverage at tudragonradio.com. You can catch streams of all of our athletic events. We'll have plenty of volleyball matches on this fall. We'll have plenty of all of our other athletics on, too. So let's go ahead and bring everybody in. Coach Dana Cordova, how are you?
Great. How are you?
You picked that one, didn't you?
Sorry. Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Why don't you introduce everybody else with you?
This is my assistant coach, Shauna Hurls, and this is Alex Miglin.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight?
Great.
Awesome. All right. Shauna, this is your first year here.
Yes, it is.
So tell us a bit about yourself. What brought you to what was the road like that got you here?
Well, I was a head coach at Winford High School for the past 2 years, and I had worked with Dana at camps the last summer, and we just kind of got to know each other that way, and the opportunity presented itself, and I was able to take it.
Pretty excited?
Yes, absolutely.
I've seen you around the offices quite a bit, but yet to have you see you there on the sideline in one of the matches. And yeah, Coach Cordova, let's talk a little bit about the team that Shauna's going to get to help coach. You got one of your players here with you, and then let's talk a little bit about what you have coming back.
We have a really solid group coming back. A lot of these girls got a lot of experience last year due to some injuries that we faced early on. So we're bringing back a lot of maturity. And this spring they had a really good spring where they kind of got the mental side of the game a lot more. The talent's there, but the mental side has been our weakness in the past. And then we're also bringing in 7 incoming players, 2 junior college, and then the rest are freshmen. And I think they're going to come in with immediate success for us. So I think this is the group of girls that we want to really go forward with.
Coach won't say injuries were an issue, but injuries were an issue last year with your kids. I mean, some of your most prominent players were injured last year, and that changes things. You had to put in kids who didn't have a lot of experience, but maybe that experience in the long run is going to help those younger players out.
Yeah, when the injuries happen, we had 2 ACLs within a week and a half of each other, and then by the end of the year, I think we had 4 girls. Alex was done by the end of the year with an elbow injury. So this year, because of that, our girls are coming in with more experience because they had to step into those roles. Alex, for example, had to play multiple positions from an outside to a right side. She's seen positions as a middle. Casey had to do the same thing. So we have some girls that can play multiple positions. So if for some reason, knock on wood, there's an injury, I feel like this year, more so than in the past, we're going to have players who can adapt to it.
Depth. Total depth.
Yes.
All right, Alex, let's talk to you a little bit. Let's talk about your path that got you to Tiffin University. Where are you from?
I'm from Mount Vernon, Ohio.
All right, and what was what got you to Tiffin University? What was it about TU that said, that's where I'm going to go continue my volleyball career?
Well, I just really like the atmosphere around here. I wouldn't want to go to any school that's any bigger, and when I talked to Coach, I just really felt like part of the team the day I talked to her.
What are you studying here at TU?
Education.
And you're a senior this year?
Yes, I am.
Plans after graduation?
Still working on it.
You don't have to know yet. You got plenty of time to get it figured out.
Yeah, my mom's an assistant principal. She said she'll help me out if she has to.
There you go. We'll talk a little bit about about being a part of the volleyball program, what you see coming back with this year's kids, and the excitement level you've seen not only with yourself but with your fellow teammates.
I've heard that we've recruited a lot of hitters, so I'm looking forward to the competition just between the team this year. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's ability. I've heard my whole team's been working hard on and off the court, in the gym, and so I'm just ready for the best year that I've had here yet.
Well, Coach, let's take a look at your schedule here real quick. Your schedule's kind of goofy a little bit. It's last 4 games. In November, it's 4 home games, 1 road game. In October, 3 home games and 7 road games. Let's talk about starting off with this Hilltopper Classic.
Yes, we're going down to Austin, Texas, and we actually are playing St. Edward's, a team that we played last year, and our girls kind of want to, it was our first game of the year last year, and we really didn't play really well until the second game, so we kind of want to have the opportunity to go against them again. So they invited us down to their tournament, so we start out with the tournament down there, and then we come back and we kind of fine-tune some stuff, and then we go right into conference play. And this year we're on the road more so than we are at home, so we have, big blocks at home. but we're on the road a lot.
You think it's going to be a good team building experience for your kids going down to that Hilltopper class, especially early in the year?
I think at the beginning when you can travel, that's where you really start to get to know each other, and you're staying in hotels and everything like that. And then, being able to finish at home the last 4 games in front of your crowd, I think that will give us the momentum to hopefully make postseason and continue that momentum into it.
I'll tell you, last year I never broadcast volleyball before last year. And I was a little apprehensive at first, like, okay, yeah, well, let's go do this. I'll tell you what, it was a blast. It's a fun. It's so. Shane and those guys got a rough down there trying to stat volleyball, but from a broadcast standpoint, it's a perfect game for broadcast because it's so fast paced, so quick moving. I don't understand how people are subbing out of it all the time, but it took me off, kind of caught me off guard and. In a very positive manner, how much I was going to enjoy broadcasting. I didn't expect it, so that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, volleyball is one of those games that a lot of people get flustered with because they don't understand. And I remember some of your commentary was like, well, why is she taking her out? And I'm like yelling at the screen saying, I have to, it's the rules. I'm not that stupid, but I had to do it. But yeah, I mean, it's and our conference is one of the best in the country. And so, we could probably go to any other conference and dominate and be one of the top teams. But to play in our conference, you have to be ready day in and day out. And, we've made strides to do that where teams have to prepare for us or they're going to get beat by us. So we're taking the steps necessarily, and we are doing it the right way because we have, high GPA, and these kids are really committed to their classwork, and they're just a great group of girls to work with. And we're really excited because it feels like this year, it's just there's something different about it. Yeah. And I think it's just that they're all on the same page this year, and I think they want to see each other succeed more than they care about themselves.
That's awesome.
And once you got that, then you could be pretty dangerous.
It's the definition of team right there.
Exactly.
Well, their volleyball program, as we said, starts at the Hilltopper Classic down in Austin, Texas. I believe your first home match will be the 15th of September against Glenville State. And then first conference match at home will be on the 25th of September against Saginaw Valley State University. Why don't you go ahead and give Coach Cordova and the rest of our folks a round of applause here. Our volleyball staff will take one more commercial break and come back with Gary Goff. And I think he wants to talk a little football. We'll be back after this. It's Tiffin University Dragon Radio and TUDragonRadio.com. And welcome back to our final segment here at TU Dragon Radio Live. Thank everybody for being patient with us as we work our way through the fall sports program. And today was a busy day for us, and all got started a little bit before 10 a.m. as Coach Gary Goff's football kids all reported in for camp, and it's a pretty darn exciting day for you. How are you doing, Coach?
Oh, I'm doing great. It is a great day for football, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
We got close to 150 checked in today. We're going to kick off first thing tomorrow with our first practice, so very exciting time. What a great event this is to have all the family and friends out here today and have a great dinner like this and start the season.
I'll tell you what, all you parents out there, I don't think Matt and I were called sir all last year, as many times as we were called sir by your young men who came in to check in on our football team today. So it is a great bunch of kids. Incredibly polite, took care of everything we needed to do with them today. So it was smooth, man. It was great.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Right,
did you get the stipend I sent you?
Not yet. Okay. I'm still waiting. I like cash. All right, let's introduce your student athletes you got sitting here.
All right, right here beside me is Pedro Carrera. He's going to be one of our senior slot receivers. Some people call him the mayor because it seems like he's been here for like 7 or 8 years, but that's okay.
Yeah.
He's got 3 degrees and working on his master's now, I think.
A doctorate.
And then we got Tommy Pritchard. He's going to be our senior defensive end, and he's been with us the last several years. But 2 great young men we're very excited about. It's going to be 2 leaders for us this year, and we expect great things out of them.
Well, Coach referred to both of you guys as leaders, and I'm sure as you become an elder statesman here in the program, being a leader is probably a role you've been looking forward to.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel I really appreciate it, and calling us up here definitely showed that he really has some trust in us.
Absolutely, and I've had a chance to watch you guys play. Pedro, you missed a year with that cast on your hand. Had to be devastating standing on the field watching everything going on. And Tommy, I've seen you out there terrorizing people on the football field. And how excited are you to get the pads back on, the helmet back on, and start banging heads with people?
Oh, I can't wait. I was telling my family back home in Arizona that I just couldn't wait to come back just to hit someone. So.
Make sure it's another football player,
none
of the broadcast team, right? All right, how about you, Pedro? You excited to get out there and get back at it?
Yeah, being a receiver, I don't do a lot of hitting like he does, but definitely to catch a couple footballs from my very experienced quarterback that I'm really excited about, and just to get back in the rhythm of things and seeing all the young guys that are coming in, making and building the program as I once did.
Yeah, Coach, the level of excitement on the first day when everybody reports is just fantastic. And then once you get the guys into the groove of things and you start, getting prepared for September 3rd, which is not that far away. My gosh, it's a short turnaround for you kids. Is that a little bit difficult for you? Pose some challenges?
Well, yes and no. I mean, since they've changed some of the NCAA rules, we report at a later date, have less practice. But it's like that for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, we just got to make do with the time we have, and we got to be very efficient about our practice, our meetings. But the good news is that, right now, we're not strapped for 20 hours a week or anything like that. It's football 24/7 right now. So I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but when you say that we play in less than a month, that's pretty darn scary.
It is, but it's pretty exciting as well.
It is. We got a lot of work that we got to get accomplished first. But I tell you what, I'm so excited about these young men we got coming into this camp. We got a lot more deeper on both sides of the ball. Had a great recruiting class, and more important, a lot of time developing some leadership. And we brought in a military group, spent some time with our young men. So we've got all the pieces to the puzzle. We just have to do a great job of meshing this team together, and we got to have the right leadership. And if we can get that accomplished, the sky's the limit for these young men.
Leadership's a word I've heard you use quite a bit today, and a few times that we had a chance to talk to each other. So that's something that you're really looking for out of kids like these two right here, and whoever else it is that's going to step up into that leadership role. There's always certain players, you like to have as your leaders, your captains, quarterbacks is a role that leadership is part of, but sometimes there's somebody that steps up, maybe you're not expecting to be a leader, and that's always kind of cool to see too.
Oh, without a doubt. I was telling a lot of the families today and players today, especially the incoming freshmen, just breathe. It's just football. Things are going to be a little bit faster. I know you're a little bit nervous right now, but it's okay. You're going to be a big part of this program. We need you here in order to be successful. And they're going to learn from these leaders how to do things the right way, and there's no shortcuts in football just like in life. Yeah. So, we got everything in place. We just got to get out there and work hard, and like I said, be very efficient about our time, and we'll be fine. We'll be ready for the first game, but we got a lot of work ahead of us.
You two have been here for the program for 4 years now, and you've seen how this roster has changed. Is depth something that we have a whole lot more this year than what you've seen from when you got here, as you've seen it work through for a few years?
Yeah, definitely. I know a couple years back we had a couple JV seasons because we had enough to have 2 offensive linemen, two deep or 3 deep at each line, but we haven't really had that lately. And now with the guys that are coming in, we definitely have a lot of depth, a lot of experience to help out the younger guys. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And Tommy, talk about how depth helps you as far as knowing you got darn good football players behind you. If you're not doing your job, they're going to take it from you.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I don't have to worry. If I need a break, I can sub out. And we got a long chain. There's no weak link. So.
He says that now, but usually when we sub them, they're mad.
Yeah,
I don't want to come out.
Yeah. I don't want to come out.
I remember you said that, Tommy.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about that depth, Coach. Offensive line is a spot where depth is always a necessity. I don't care how many you have at offensive line, you're going to need more at some point. You have a little more depth there now. You have some more depth at your skill positions, in your wide receiver positions, your running back positions, and on the defensive line. I mean, that's a great thing to have as a head football coach, knowing that you got pieces you can plug in when you need them.
Well, there's no secret that competition makes everybody better. Mm-hmm. And we've got that just about at every single position we have now. And it's taken us some years to get the offensive line and defensive line caught up with the rest of the conference, but we're there now.
Some other addition to the coaching staff this year as well, right?
Yeah, we got a new offensive line coach, Coach John Marokian. He's coming to us from Toledo, and we all know Toledo's been very successful over the last several years. So he's going to be a great addition for us, very experienced in the run game, and we're always looking to improve that run game. So I'm excited about him joining the staff, and I really think our offensive linemen are going to be very, very excited about him. Like all my coaches, a very class act young man, and works very hard.
Everybody talks about bigger, faster, stronger. When you talk about football, we mentioned the bigger, we mentioned the stronger. We haven't mentioned the faster yet. I think you guys, as a whole, you have as much speed as anybody in this conference nowadays.
Well, I think I got faster over the summer.
You better.
I
keep
worked
up
pretty
with these
hard
guys.
at it. I tell these guys all the time, I'm going to run some routes.
Do it?
No.
He did play receiver in college, folks, just so you know. Did more punt returning than playing on receiver, but he was out there. Go ahead.
He'll be trying to look at my clips now. No, we do have really good speed. I think we've always been a very skilled program. I really think we've been behind the curveball, especially up front.
Sure.
But like we just talked about, we've got the depth and the competition there. But, yeah, we get a lot of our receivers and our DBs back who have experience. And yes, are bigger, faster, and stronger as well. I mean, I could brag all night about what we did over the summer. You know, we had a large group of young men stay, the largest group we've had. There's nothing like working out with your strength coach and with your teammates all summer long because they're going to push you. So very, very encouraged about what I see on papers about how strong we got. So that's going to carry over to the field, and we'll get a first look at that tomorrow. So can't wait. We won't sleep tonight because all the coaches can't wait to get on the field.
Oh, I'm sure. And you players, you better sleep tonight. That's the truth. September 3rd, it gets started at 7 p.m. against Walsh University, and your kids going to be working their tails off. Back-to-back home games to start the season, folks. A Thursday night, 7 o'clock game, and then I guess it'll be 9 days later, the 12th, at home against Saginaw Valley State. How exciting is it for you guys to be playing a night game at home, especially on a Thursday night, knowing you're the focal point around here? And there's no excuse any of these local people aren't going to be in those stands.
It's pretty. It definitely feels like, obviously, back in high school, playing under the lights.
Everybody loves playing under the lights.
Yeah, definitely. And then definitely just to get back at, I guess I could say, get back at Walsh for the game. The game that we had the previous year, we kind of really started out slow, and then it was kind of too late. So definitely come back, I guess I could say, for revenge.
And how important is it, do you guys think, get off to a really good start? I mean, not only just because of who you're playing, but because of what you're playing for to get off to a good start.
Yeah, definitely on the offensive side, we have to score quick, as we always break it down, quick six, and then the defense stopping them from scoring, because if they don't score, they can't win.
Exactly.
So that's basically.
Pedro, you mentioned your quarterback earlier, Antonio Pipkin will be a junior this year. He's got some preseason All-American accolades, as has Mr. Mason over there, your center. Talk about those two together. I mean, you got a right in the middle center quarterback. Everybody's got their eyes on them because they're that good at football players.
Yeah, their name is definitely bigger and at a bigger stage now that they're getting older and they're more experienced. We expect a lot out of Pipkin, and we've definitely came a long way with Mason as far as not starting a couple games and then him taking the role over as our starting center. Just as you said, having both of them combined, the center and quarterback, having the All-American name on their chest basically, and we're expecting a lot from them.
Absolutely. And, Coach, you're expecting a lot out of every single kid on that roster, aren't you?
You better believe it.
All right. Anything, Coach, we said it earlier, somebody's going to come down and watch your football team play. What are they going to see on the field that's going to make them come back 7 days later?
Well, they're going to see a group of young men who's worked extremely hard, and they're going to see a team that cares about one another because it's very important to be a great teammate. And they're going to see a bunch of young men with some high character, and we've done a great job recruiting those young men in the last several years, and I think it'll carry over into the field. It did last year. It's going to this year. But we're going to be exciting on both sides of the ball. Well, I mean, we're going to push the envelope on both sides of the ball and expect great things to happen. So you're going to see a relentless team that's ready to go out there and take the next step.
Yeah, and Matt and I will be relentlessly following you guys as well. We'll be with you every step of the way. We'll be there with you, as we said. Hall home games, free video at WTUD. It's TUDragonRadio.com. Tell all your family members, free video for the home games, as many of the away games as we can do, but you will have a full radio broadcast of every single Tiffin University football game, as well as the Coach Gary Goff show, which when we figure out the time and place for that one, we'll let everybody know that. Coach, anything else today?
No, again, I really appreciate the family and friends coming out. When you see this many people out and you see the excitement, you know that you got good support, and we're going to have a great season.
How about each one of these players out here stands up, gives their family members that brought them down here and hung out with them today a big round of applause, because they deserve it more than you actually do. So
there you go.
Give them all a round of applause for being their support staff, folks. And don't forget, everybody, if you'd like a schedule, if you'd like more information on what we do at WTUD, it's right up here. Come up and get it. But I think that's going to conclude our program here for TU Dragon Radio, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for being here tonight.